Morning, champions. Today we're talking about prehab and rehab, and I'm going to start off with my definition for both. So for me, what I class as prehabilitation or prehab is the workout before the workout. And so that may be if I've got an existing injury or I've got a repetitive sort of strain or something. I'm going to be doing a certain set of exercises in my main workout that is going to potentially cause troubles or issues in some part of my body. So an example of prehabilitation is, or prehab, or the warm-up is basically warming up or stretching or rolling a certain set of muscles, joints, ligaments, etc. And more often than not, also activating with a band or some kind of light exercise, activating the muscles, but especially the supporting muscles that are going to allow me to get through that harder training session that's coming up without either doing more damage or injuring it further that it might have. So it may be somewhere that has an injury site, so a pre-existing injury, or it could just be a weakness in my body or something that's getting hit over and over again. And so the prehab is basically in order to help me get through my main training session. Whereas rehabilitation, my rehab exercises come after a heavy training session where I need to work into my recovery areas in my body that have had a hard time during that session, maybe pre-existing injuries or weaker areas that I have in my body, and therefore I'll do things like firstly get the blood flow up, some light exercise like cycling, swimming, walking, yoga or Pilates or something like that. Get the heart rate up, not too high, but get the heart rate up, get the muscles, get the blood flowing through those muscles, because it's blood flow through a damaged muscle or a injury site that helps that rehabilitation process. And stretching, rolling, ball work, and also breathing, meditation helps that recovery, nutrition, all that sort of stuff goes into it. And again, activating the supporting muscles, because more often than not, an injury is either caused or added to because a lot of the supporting muscles around the main muscles are not necessarily activating and giving me the support that I need. Okay, so that's a bit of my definition of prehab, rehab. My body, my injuries, I've got 4 vertebrae in my back fused. I've got my left ankle completely fused. There's a rod up through my heel into the shin bone, no movement whatsoever. Same with the 4 vertebrae. I've got 2 rods, 8 screws, a couple of plates that hold 4 of my vertebrae absolutely locked out, and that's just the 2 major injuries. I've got many other smaller little issues, but a lot of the prehab for me is around my supporting muscles, my core strength, which is the muscles that go around the spine, and they go all the way down the inner thighs up through into the neck and everything. That's a lot to do with my prehabilitation. Do a lot of Pilates and stuff like that to help support that. So give you an example, for me and my injuries, black belt camp where I know I've got a full weekend of training, I always make sure that I get to my Pilates in the morning on the Saturday morning, do my Pilates as my prehab, warm up, stretch, train all day, do some stretching, some warm down in the evening. Next morning on the Sunday morning, get to Pilates first thing, get that done again. It's like setting myself up. It's rehab, prehab, all in one. Don't train too hard, and then I can get through my next day of Sunday training, and then Monday morning straight back to Pilates again, and that gets it done. The harder the training session, make sure I bookend each training session with prehab and rehab. It's an absolute must. Your prehab and your rehab is very personal depending on your situation. Depends on your body, depends on your age, depends on how hard you're training, depends on any pre-existing injuries, depends on your body type. And it's a very personal sort of a thing, and it's something that you need to talk to your professional about, which we talked about yesterday with your physio. And that should be a lot of the time that you spend with your physios, talking about what exercises should you be doing to prepare for the training sessions and to recover from the training sessions. So some examples of prehab is nutrition, stretching, hydration, getting on your roller, using balls to massage out tight spots, and muscle activations, which is often used with like bands and that sort of thing, where you're isolating the small muscles, which are generally the supporting muscles, which give you that support. What next? Let's talk about the physio. The harder you train, the more you need your prehab and your rehab. Okay. Also, the older you are, the more time you need to spend in your pre-workouts and your after workouts, so that your body is getting there. For example, I give you an example of how this works. When I was cycling quite seriously, you train every day. You can't not train, and I pretty much train every day now as a karate calf, but it's not heavy, hardcore training. Same with a cyclist. They'll have every day's a training session, but Sunday a recovery day. So instead of riding hard for 3 or 4 hours on a long ride, you might just do a 1 hour shorter, easy, low heart rate session. And it's the same with my karate sessions. I'll bookend the hard sessions with easier workouts, but every day I'm training, every day I'm moving towards my goals. Because for me, a stretching session, a serious stretching session and rehab session is a training session. It's part of your training. So I train every day towards my goals. If you've got pre-existing injuries like me, you're going to have to spend a hell of a lot more time doing your prehab and your rehab. It's just part of life. Just is. Don't get upset about it. Just do it. And if you don't master this part of your training, then it's going to seriously reduce the length of time that you can train in your karate or in any serious sport. And ultimately, if you don't sort it out, you'll quit. And if you quit, you won't never get your black belt. So hope there's something in there helpful for you. Leave a comment in below what you do for your prehab, your rehab. Takes the whole community to lift us all up and help us get that black belt. So I hope there's something good. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the dojo soon. Thanks for listening.